Hello, welcome to Mellow Star Tarot. This reading is going to be for the lovely sign of Leo, and it's for the week of August the 20th to the 26th of 2018. So let's see what the cards have to say. So the first card always speaks about the energy of the entire week. So the energy for the entire week, you have the Princess of Winter. If you guys want to see this card, you can see it. But this card speaks about speaking your truth. Almost like, okay, so this is a general card reading, so it could apply to any aspect of your life, love, relationship, whatever. But this is about, when I get this card, I think of someone that has been holding back or not speaking the truth, and the truth is finally coming out. So that would be you. So you're finally saying what you want to other people, or you're finally telling them, hey, there's this thing that you keep doing and it's just not cool. So that's the kind of energy. If it has to do with your work environment, maybe in your work environment you feel that you have a coworker that's an imbalance of workflow. You're supposed to share, and you tend to take more than your fair share of work, and someone else it tends to do the complete opposite of that, and you feel like you need to say something about it. This is about speaking your truth, Leo. You have to say something about it. You have to remember that this is a princess. She's not yet a queen, so that means that she hasn't had the opportunity, or she hasn't given herself or himself the opportunity to practice speaking her truth. So your truth is going to come out a little bit, I don't know how to say it, blunt. So that's the only thing that I would say to others, when you first start speaking your truth, is not going to come out in the most soothing kind of way, or I would say in the most natural kind of way. Unless you are already, this person is saying that there's something that you need to work on. Either you need to work on your ability to speak your truthness with kindness instead of just being blunt about it, or knowing when to say it. This is about that energy, because the princess, she's great, she's getting there, but you still need a lot to develop that very communicative side of yourself. Okay, and of course you have the Five of Spring as your challenge. So if you see those two fairies in that card, they're sort of kind of like fighting over pettiness. And the reason why I say over pettiness, because they're just throwing flowers or throwing water at each other. So I don't know if you guys remember those movies when you have like in the schoolroom cafeteria, you have different cliques of kids, and all of a sudden they break into a fight. This is about fighting over differences, because you just don't like each other or something like that. So that's the challenging energy. Like I said before, it's a general reading, so it applies to every aspect of your life. So that includes, if it has to do with love life, I gave an example of what it would mean in a work environment, what it would mean, this card, in a relationship. It's like focusing too much on the differences, almost like not agreeing on buying a new house together, or maybe you guys are not looking. This is what's interesting. You should be asking yourselves those questions, like, do you guys want to have a family? How many kids do you want to have? And like, how many years do you perceive having those kids? So those are the questions that you should be asking yourself if you are in a relationship, or if you're single and if you want to be in a relationship. You should be in alignment to those big questions that everyone has, because the challenging part is that allowing differences of opinions to not really, this energy is allowing differences of opinions to basically rock the boat or make things more difficult. This is the challenging energy. So if you're speaking your truth, when you speak your truth, that means that you're not always going to please other people, but it's important for you to do it. Does that make sense? Because this is about, like, if you talk about it, what you want, this is gonna happen sometimes, and you have to learn to be okay that whenever you speak your truth, it's not always gonna be cool with other people, or it's gonna cause a reaction, especially if you have been training other people that you're always a just person. Well, guess what? You will get some negative backlash, I guess you could say. Okay, so This is your advice. So it's a major arcana. It's the Hangman in the traditional tarot. But in this tarot deck, it's called the Awakening card. So the Awakening is about changing your perspective. This is talking about you have to speak your truth, but you have to change your perspective. This is interesting. So you have to pause a little bit, even before, because I spoke about your truth needs to be spoken, because this is a Princess of Winter. It needs to be spoken. But this is almost saying, hey, wait, hold on. You should speak. But before you even do that, it's kind of like that saying, think before you speak. This is very much so that energy is like having a little pause of action, because when you speak, you don't want to be reactive to someone. Like if someone triggers you and tells you, I don't know, something that really triggers you, I don't know, like maybe someone tells you, hey, you keep making a lot of mistakes, are you dumb or something? That's going to trigger a lot of people. And your instant reaction would be like, hey, and then you would probably react in a negative way. But this is talking about the higher way of going towards it, is if you think about it before you just react to it. I mean, you should say something if someone tells you about it, especially if it's unacceptable, you should say something, but it's saying that the way you say it is also very important. Okay, oh my God. Okay, release. At the end of the reading, another major arcana. So you start with the Princess of Winter, which is about speaking your truth again. And you end with the Release card, which is called, in traditional tarot, is called the Death card. Don't be afraid of the Death card. The Death cards are always great. So it does represent the death of something, but it means the death of something, sometimes that it's no longer working for you. And I feel because you are finally speaking your truth, that person or that environment that it's not working anymore, it's gonna be gone. And you might not like it at the beginning, but it's meant to be gone, because this is about letting go of that. It can also just mean letting go of an idea. Sometimes having the idea that you're gonna be, I don't know, just an idea of having, of letting go of an idea. What I mean by that is letting go of an attachment that you have with something. So let's say that maybe you had an attachment that this job was gonna give you like $100,000 a year, and you're finding out that that's not gonna happen here. Well, you kind of have to let it go, the idea that that job is gonna give you that money, but maybe another one would. But this is about that's why it's called a letting go card, because you're letting go of that or releasing it. Okay, thank you for coming, and I hope you guys like this reading, and this was for the sign of Leo. Have a good one.